Hey guys, Will here, and I really haven't reviewed a phone since I reviewed the Samsung Galaxy S8. And this is mainly down to the fact that none of them really caught my eye. However, when the Nokia 9 PureView was announced, it was impossible for it to not catch my eye. Mainly due to it having 5 cameras. And I will freely admit that I did laugh at it when I first saw it. However, after seeing that it shot raw photos, I decided I should take a look. First of all, specs. The Nokia 9 is rocking a Snapdragon 845 processor at 2.8 GHz, a nice beefy 6GB of RAM, up to 128 GB of non-expandable internal storage, and a 3320 mAh battery that does indeed support quick charging. Just make sure you don't lose your included charger. The face detection works pretty well, it's generally snappy, and the under-screen fingerprint scanner works even better. Unlocking the Nokia 9 with the fingerprint scanner is seriously quick. Battery life is overall good, and we easily managed to get a full day of usage out of it when testing. This included plenty of YouTube videos, music, and photos. Speaking of music, the Nokia 9 does not have a headphone jack, and there is one down-firing speaker, but despite this, it sounds a lot better than it should have any right to. Let's take a quick listen. Following on from this is the build quality, and on the Nokia 9 it's actually pretty good. It has a water and dustproof rating of IP67, which is fine for most people, and an IIRC5 Gorilla Glass screen and back. This basically means as long as you're not throwing it down a mountain, it should be good. I also really like how they chose not to enter the knot trace, and because of this, I think this is one of the best looking phones on the market. When I first saw the phone, I was amazed by the screen. It has a resolution of 1440 by 2880 and a massively dense PPI of 538. To put that into perspective, a 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina display has a PPI of 227. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. It's HDR compatible and uses a technology known as POLED, which is still nice and bright, but from what I've read, it's a lot more efficient. Overall, it's sharp, has a nice level of saturation and brightness, and I'm pretty pleased with the screen on this phone. Next is the OS. The Nokia 9 runs Android Pie, which I absolutely love. It's super user-friendly, has some great features like images through messaging and the new screenshot tool, and was overall a solid choice for the Nokia 9. Apps feel snappy and operations are very smooth, so I have almost no complaints here other than my usual Android gripes. Okay, so now let's talk about the main selling point of this phone. The 5 cameras. Again, I have to admit I laughed when I first saw this phone, but again, when I heard it was going to shoot RAW, I was suddenly very interested. Once I got my hands on these RAW photos, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The level of detail you can get out of this phone is unmatched. Everything from the highlight recovery and roll-off to individual hue saturations in Lightroom is almost identical to what it's like to shoot RAW on a DSLR and editing with that. And by the way, those were single 12 megapixel photos, so yeah. Pretty crazy. Because of this, we can only marvel at the depth mode shots, which captures at least one photo from each of the 5 cameras, so you're getting a lot more data to work with when editing your photos. Now, don't think that this is going to be a DSLR killer. Realistically, phones will never replace a proper camera, but this really could be an excellent solution for things like travel, where you may want some nice crispy photos, but don't want to risk your $3,000 camera getting stolen. This phone shoots crispy 4K HDR video at up to 60 FPS, which is always nice to see, and honestly, I have very few complaints with this phone's camera. My main complaint, however, is with the color science. These are some of the ugliest colors I've ever seen on a smartphone or a DSLR, so untouched JPEGs do tend to look pretty ugly. Skin is super washed out, so this phone is not great for quick shots, and I would love to see better color on the next model. Another thing I'm not super keen on is the front-facing camera. It takes a while for the phone to process these front-facing images, so it's not ideal for selfie shooting. Overall, I really like this phone, especially for the price of just $699. For that, you get a great software experience, and of course, great photos. Okay guys, so thank you for watching. Remember to like the video. If you want to see more content like this, then smash the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 10K by the 1st of April, so every single subscription is massively appreciated. I'm done, and I will see you guys next time. Just flicked my hair. I'm done, and I will see you guys next time.